New video time! Guys, I am Yard Offside FM, and it is very nice to see you again. This is episode 19 of The Triumph, my Football Manager 2017 Let's Play series as Hell's Teeth FC in the Tuvaluan A Division. Thank you for coming back for this episode, episode 19, guys. I am hoping that this will be a little bit of a shorter episode, because there's just not that much to talk about, and it's only been a few days since our last live comm in-game. It's been 12 days since our last live comm, and only one match has taken place. It was a 3-3 result against Tofaga, in which our new signing, Lopati Okelani, scored for us. You guys will, I think I talked about this transfer sort of being in the works during episode 18. We have finalized this deal for Lopati Okelani from Nui. As you can see, I mean, he's not amazing. There are a lot of those attributes that are well below 10, many of them below 5, and that is... I mean, I would say it's concerning, except that you can really see that in the right areas, he's pretty good. Finishing 13, acceleration 12, agility 11, and with first touch of 7 and composure of 7, I mean, he's a useful player as a poacher, as you can see there. He's pretty good. You know, with finishing of 13, that goes a long way. That is among the, I would say that's probably in the top 5 of strikers in Tuvalu. So this is a real high-class guy that we've brought in. And as I mentioned, he did score in his debut, scored in his debut, and I'm hoping is going to continue knocking him in for us. Olalofa Ward, by the way, we were very concerned at the end of episode 18 that he was going to be gone for a concerted period of time. Really, I think that was just the fact that he wasn't. Oops, that's the wrong tab. That was just the fact that he was still recovering from this injury, which he suffered, I believe, against Hamiamimi. Yes, Hamiamimi on the 31st of July. And so I think he's, we knew that was a bruised shin, and I think it was an ankle issue. So maybe it was just a result of his not being quite fully recovered from this shin injury. At any rate, Ward has not spent any extra time out of the team, and he also managed to score a goal against Tofaga. Let's just have a look at this result here. Yes, so George Panapa with a hat-trick, a little bit concerning, but he is one of the better players in Tuvalu, always has been. He's a very, very skilled forward, and I mean, he was really just the class of the day. All of his goals were of the absolute highest quality. We can have a look at them here. This first one, it was a bit of an optimistic ball, but that beautiful touch to sort of get himself on his stronger right foot and slot it underneath Tapase, really a worthy a goal that equalized just seconds after we'd gone in front on an own goal. This goal from Panapa here, really just a brilliant first-time strike. His body didn't really look like he was set, but he still just belted it into the top corner. An outstanding finish from George Panapa. And then to get his third goal for his hat-trick, just an outstanding through ball right there. Great bit of passing movement to Kula, sending Panapa in there to score on that close-range finish. It was a deserved hat-trick from George Panapa, who was just a fantastic player who we weren't able to control on the day. And, all things considered, we were lucky to come away with a draw in this one. Tofaga are a great team. They've not perhaps had the best of years, but they've always been up and around the top of the A division. So we're going to be taking on Nui today. We do have a bit of an injury scare, though it doesn't involve Olalofa Ward. Maama Etimani had to leave during that Tofaga match. He has a bruised thigh. So one of our better wingers is not going to be available for this game. We're going to bring Maolima Lofa back into the team. Certainly a very good player, but with my assistant giving a rating of 1.5 stars, Lima Lofa is maybe not the best option. I could have also brought Malesi Eliu back into the team, but Eliu's had a few bad performances lately, and I really think Lima Lofa has more potential to have an explosive bit of dribbling and speed ability down the left side of the pitch. So I think we're going to go with Lima Lofa today, guys. We have Tapase in the back. Alasana will continue to feature universally for us. I have made a bit of an interesting selection decision in terms of bringing Masoli Eti back into the team, as well as Tito Tui, who's one of our developing regen products. Tui certainly a player who could be very, very good in the future, as you can see from his potential evaluation there. Eti, a player who neither has good attributes nor is rated highly by my assistant, but he's just I like to consider him a fan favorite. He's certainly a favorite of mine. Just a really reliable center back, and just as a towering kind of 6'6" figure, you can understand why he's so useful for us. In the midfield, I've gone with Pearson and Teeny Lau, both in pretty good form, and I think those selections pretty much made themselves for me. Up front, we're going with James Lapayo, Ward, and Okelani. Unfortunately, Samaya Moeaga and Tamafai Tui have really been pushed out of the first team as a result of the signings that we've made. But they're still incredibly useful players who I'll be continuing to use as much as possible in the future, just because they do have such a huge history with this club and have given such great contributions for us. As you can see, pretty even in terms of the past results against Nui. We've won a few, they've won a few, there have been a few draws. It's a pretty good rivalry with Nui, and they did have a great 2016 season, very much off the pace last year, but they're doing quite well this year as well, so it looks like a return to form for the blue and red of Nui. The pitch has resumed its terrible status, as you can see here at the Tuvalu Sports Ground. We've already gone over the team, so let's just go right through this. Okay. All right, so the press are saying we will have too much quality for Nui. I mean, the press always really tend to pick us. Because of the signings that we've made, we really are the best team in Tuvalu by quite a distance, on paper at least. But, as they always say, matches are not won on paper. We got to deliver out there today, and I'm hopeful that we will. This third match of the group stage in the Independence Cup is very, very critical, because teams that are on 0 points or 1 point or 2 points, they can really get themselves back into things at this stage with a good result in the third match of the group stage. And by comparison, teams that are doing pretty well, like us, for example, we have 4 points out of a possible 6, so we're doing pretty well. You can also, if you manage to lose your third match of the group stage, you can really screw yourself over and find yourself in pretty atrocious condition. Let's try and encourage the players to push for the top spot here. Okay. So yeah, guys, this Okelani signing I think is really going to be a bit of a coup for us, because he played for Nui actually. So this is him coming back to his former club, and during that 2016 season he was instrumental. I can't remember which season it was, but I know we did a live comm against Nui, in which I believe Okelani scored. He's a player who's been really prominent in the A division for a couple seasons now, and so it's really nice that we've managed to bring him in. That is an atrocious free kick from Ward that bounces off of somebody. I'm not sure what was going on there, or if that was some sort of match engine issue, but that is really, really annoying. So 19 minutes in, or in the 19th minute, I should say. Pretty sparse in terms of highlights. Sieni manages to get his head underneath that. Pretty tame effort in the end, and Tapase will gather it up. Looks like we could have used Tapase coming forward to come and get that. I was a little bit nervous because it didn't look like our defenders very decisively cleared that out. Looks like we did manage to put together a bit of a threatening counterattack, but it's come to nothing. Still have possession, though. Ooh, Okelani with a great through ball there. Not a great finish. He was shut down well by the defender, and it looks like this man, Sio, here for Nui, is picked up. Lua Sio is actually, I believe, one of Nui's better players. Pretty critical guy. I think he may be one of their sort of developing regens. Lapayo's in. Oh, what a great finish at the near post. Ooh, that's a cheeky little finish. Normally, Lapayo just tries to blast that across the face of goal, but just a nice little finesse finish into the near post low corner, looked like, and we are 1-0 up. Ward involved with things as usual, and Teeny Lau's continuing his great passing form. Ooh, it was just actually a toe poke from Lapayo that went off the post. Yeah, I mean it's a difficult finish and not what I expected him to do, but I'll take a goal however he's able to provide it. Especially since arguably Nui have had the better of the chances thus far. Ward hits that free kick off the wall. We have managed to maintain possession. Good ball for Olalofa there from Tuvaluan, and it's the end of the highlight. Anticlimactic. Looks like we've got another one here though. Okelani on the ball. Tuvaluan. Lots of space for Tuvaluan here. Cuts inside. Goes for Pearson. Lopati. Olalofa. Pearson. Patient passing play here. Teeny Lau. Lopati. Okelani should score and does. It's 2-0. Oh, this has been a great first half for Hell's Teeth here. The Orange Demons find themselves 2 goals up, and it looks like Okelani is going to be a revelation for this side. Some very nice passing movement. Pretty similar in terms of going for that near post finish. It was just Lopati was providing the assist rather than scoring it. So James Lopati having a very, very nice game thus far. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, he does tend to hit patchy sort of bits of form. He's a little bit inconsistent, but looks like he's really hitting his stride now. Teeny Lau's shot is pretty tame and is easily saved by the Naughty goalkeeper. And I think we're going to head into halftime here, 2-0 up. How are we doing in terms of condition here, guys? Let's have a look. In terms of the player who's doing worst on condition, it's Pearson, and he usually tends to deteriorate condition-wise more than everybody else, and I think he's overall doing okay, so I don't see a reason to make a change. Let's get into the team talk. The performance has been pretty good. I'm not sure what the possession stats are, but you know what? Even though I do think we've played pretty well, I want to see what happens if we try and motivate them by telling them that they haven't played that well. Only 2 players have reacted badly, so it looks like that, that was a bit of a risky decision on my part, but it does look like it's paid off. The players are pretty ambitious. As I've mentioned repeatedly, that is very much our squad personality, and so when we are considered to be the better team by the media, I often can get good results out of telling the players that I'm not satisfied, even if they are winning. This is a team that's ambitious enough to really blow people away, because we do have that quality in our side, I think. Not sure what this highlight is all about here. Looks like it's gonna be a throw-in. That was very strange. I think that was perhaps a shot that was so bad it went out over the sideline. I don't know. Very interesting. Looks like Sio, the man who was injured earlier in the first half, is going to have to be taken off for Nui, which in a cynical sense is very good news. Olalofa looked for Okelani there. Teeny Lau again. Ward got a couple options. May find Okelani here. Yes, he does. Ward is wide open at the far post. Okelani couldn't find him there. Bit of a shame, but we are 2-0 up, so you're not going to have everything go your way. Tui heads that away. Nui still in possession, however. Sio Peppa. Valwaga. And there Lopati over on the right-hand side. Ooh, Sieni puts that against the woodwork. And we very easily could have been just 2-1 up rather than 2-0, which is the current scoreline. That was a good opportunity that's gone to waste for Nui. They'll be kicking themselves over that. Let's see. Do we need to check and see if anybody's having a pretty bad game match rating wise? No, everybody's doing pretty well. 6.7 is the worst match rating of anybody in the team. So let's take off somebody who's looking a little tired. Both of our central midfielders are looking a little more on the exhausted side. Who can we bring in? Tuvaluan is certainly a good defensive option for central midfield, and I think we will go with Tuvaluan or Tuvaluan, especially because if we want to bring in a more attacking player later on, Tuvaluan can be shifted back into defense. Who should we take off? Pearson or Teeny Lau? Pearson's our captain. We'll take off Teeny Lau. Tuvaluan will slot in there at ball-winning midfielder, where he's actually pretty good. All right. Let's just tell him that we have faith in him. This is an experienced veteran who's always pretty composed for us. I don't think we need to tell him that there's no pressure on him. He knows. He's a He's a classy player, Tuvaluan or Tusela. Very glad we've brought him into the club. I was pretty pissed when we couldn't get him at the start of the 2016 season, at the very start of this save. Glad that he's been brought in now. It looks like we have possession here. Tologo plays it outside. He's run into double coverage, as we say in the U.S. Ward, great ball for Tusela, and the keeper has really made a hash of that. We're 3-0 up, but perhaps should not be. Pretty shambolic goalkeeping there, I have to say. You do see a fair bit of that in Tuvalu, but I think maybe this edition of FM has produced a slightly higher incidence of terrible goalkeeping. I think many people have said that, and I would not disagree. But it's certainly exacerbated by the low quality of goalkeeping in Tuvalu. Ofati is an option, a very good defender that we could bring on. However, I'm kind of inclined, I kind of wonder if we shouldn't be working to increase the match fitness of some of our players here. Okelani only on a 7.3. Shall I bring on Luatui? I think we will. I think this is a developing prospect for the future, and it's a good time to be bringing him on. So let's bring on Luatui. He was genned in, I believe, in the 2017 season, came out of our youth academy. He maybe wasn't rated the absolute highest by my assistant, but I had a look at him and thought, you know what, he's really got some great attributes to turn into a very, very forceful and important target man style forward for us. And who knows, perhaps he won't develop, but he certainly seems to have a bit of promise in him, and I want to just make sure he gets a little bit of match time, even though this is the Independence Cup. You know, it's not considered to be a critically important competition by my board or by the fans or even by me. It's sort of a fun competition with an interesting group stage component that gives you a chance to sort of experiment with your side a little bit more. Olalofa now. Come on, knock that ball past your opponent. No, it looks like maybe he tried to. He has been dispossessed, and it looks like Nui have a chance to counterattack here. Well done by Tusela to get in there with a tackle and take them out of their stride. That's pretty poor. Looks like that may have been Eti, I think, who was coming across, or I believe it was either Eti or Tito Tui came over, tried to head that away, ended up letting it run on, and easily that could have been a chance for Nui. Wow, another really, really good opportunity for Nui. Just blasted against the post there. We could be at 2-2 here were Nui finishing a little bit better in this match. Perhaps we're getting a bit lucky to be the leaders in this contest, but you know what? I've just said that it could be 2-2 and I've forgotten entirely that we're up 3-0. So really, I mean, whether we're lucky or unlucky, however you want to look at it, 3-0 is a pretty emphatic scoreline, and it does demonstrate that we have been very much the better team. Let's just bring on Ofati. He's a very solid player, and I'm not sure that Masolia Eti has necessarily played that well, so we'll bring him on. I think he's better over there. Maybe not. Let's keep Tito Tui at the stopper role because he's a little bit better at that. So we'll bring on Ofati, tell him we have faith in him. This has been perhaps a bit anticlimactic as a live comm, guys, just because we are 3-0 up. But didn't have a lot of time to play FM in the last few days, so I didn't really get too far in terms of that is some really terrible defending there. And easily it could have been a fourth. So Nui looking a little shaky at the back end, shall we say, and definitely have been unlucky on the front foot in attack. This could be a chance for Nui, well held by Tapase. Difficult chance, really, to get a lot of power on that header for the Nui striker. Pearson heads that away. Olalofa can't manage to grab possession, but Ofati steps off his line to head that forward. Tologo now on the right. Could there be a fourth here? Olalofa Ward tries to dribble around some folks, but didn't manage it. And I think this may be the closing highlight here, guys. Looks like this is going to be a 3-0 victory for the Orange Demons. We are in very good shape now in the Independence Cup. 7 points from a possible 9. I think this is pretty much done and dusted at this point. There are 2 games remaining in the Independence Cup group stage, but it does look like we are going to advance to the final of this sort of tertiary domestic competition. Tell the players that we could have played a little bit better. I mean, it's perhaps being a bit harsh on them, but I really want to hold them to the highest possible standards. It looks like a few of the players did look motivated as well, so maybe a risky decision once again from me. I do need to mix in a few kind of harsher team talks along with my I have faith in you team talks and praising them for good results. Just want the players to remember that we shouldn't settle for the sort of ground out 1 goal or 2 goal margins, the likes of which we've seen a fair few of in the last few A division matches. So nice to see an emphatic winning margin there. The fact that we were a little bit lucky in terms of our defense notwithstanding. Well, guys, thanks very much for joining me for this live com. Looks like we are in decent shape for the Independence Cup group stage. As I mentioned, perhaps the Christmas Cup quarterfinal will be the next live com. We'll see. We don't know who our opponent will be yet. The draw hasn't occurred yet. I think it'll be happening soon. So if we have a good quarterfinal tie, we'll perhaps do that. Otherwise, there are some interesting, well, not really. I was about to say there are some interesting looking A division matches coming up, but that's not really true. So it's looking like tentatively, guys, this quarterfinal will be the next live com. And I hope you guys will join me for episode 20. Well, I have been Yard Offside FM. Please like, please subscribe, and please come back for episode 20 of The Triumph.